Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. Bro, what have you been smoking? Oscar Wilde.
Must be dank.
I'm kind of surprised they decided to make a Harpy instead of, like, say, a character like the Khaleesi's interpreter girl, the one that Grey Worm has a big crush on. She's kind of a bigger part of the show than the Harpies are. Although the Harpy's really cool looking, so I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised they didn't make her in this new series. But, I mean, I guess if you're going to make an Unsullied, you should make a Harpy. Yeah, I'm really liking how colorful this new series is. And this one is really, really nice. A nice splash of gold and yellow in the Game of Thrones collection. The Harpy looks really cool out of the box. They did an excellent job designing and painting this mask. It really is striking. And all these little nicks and scrapes and the way they did a little bit of darker shading in the gold makes it look very realistic and just like in the show. Even though it's a pop, it still looks like the mask from the show. Pretty unmistakable. As soon as you look at it, you're like, oh crap, that's a Harpy. And I like how it has the pop eyes, but the mask cuts off part of them. It's a nice little touch they gave it. Really looks cool. The stitching looks really nice from the mask to the hood. Really realistic and really well painted. And this knot looks pretty cool. Little back knot there. Yeah, I can't find any real paint flaws anywhere on it. Except for maybe a little bit right here. A little bit of skin paint bleed onto the knife. Nothing major though, and they did a really good job painting the gold ring that holds his little straps on him. Really small detail and really well painted. Overall pretty cool. I'm glad they made these. These guys are like almost like terrorists that oppose Khaleesi and just randomly kill people and are pretty much a pain in her ass basically. So it's going to be pretty cool to display this guy with the other, the dragons and the Khaleesi and the Unsullied and stuff. Really cool pop. I don't think the Unsullied is a very sought after pop from this new series, but he was the hardest for me to get. I couldn't find him anywhere in the stores where most of them were pretty available, but this guy I just could never find, so I ordered him online from Hot Topic. He came in pretty excellent. They probably do the best job with their shipping. Never really have a problem with them. The Unsullied looks pretty cool, and it's definitely because of this mask and helmet. I like the paint job on it. I like how they made this a pewter color to make it look different from the metal on the helmet, which is a dark gray, almost black, which really comes off like iron. Really looks good. Really good paint job on both of those. And they even made this a little different too. The shield is removable, and that's also done in this kind of same dark gray. Really does look like a nice strong iron shield. The spear's a little wobbly looking. I'm sure I can kind of bend that straight, but it kind of always goes back into shape. Yeah, they did a good job with his little sandals and the sculpt overall. This is a really cool looking pop, and I like how this nose guard piece, or that kind of holds on this face mask, there's a gap in between here, so it really does look like a separate piece. They could have just had that all attached, and they probably would have, a couple years ago, but Funko's really stepping up their sculpts, and that looks really, really good. The only thing I don't like about this pop is that it's basically Grey Worm with a shield and a face mask. And they made the skin tone a little darker, I guess, to make him look different. But what I really would have liked would have been maybe this guy holding the spear in a little bit different position than Grey Worm. And that would have been enough to make him look different. Although the skin tone does help, I really dislike that they used pretty much the same body. But overall, he's pretty cool. Even though these guys are just generic soldiers, I'm really glad they made them because they look really good, especially the Harpy. And if you're somebody that likes to make dioramas and you have the Drogon pop ride with the Khaleesi riding him, and Jorah, and Tyrion, and some of the other pops, and you get 4 or 5 Harpies and 4 or 5 Unsullied, and throw Grey Worm in there too, and just make it look like that big battle scene where Drogon comes in and blows everybody away, that would look pretty amazing. And if you have a lot of space. But if you're just a regular Game of Thrones fan too, and you just want to add these to your collection, I definitely recommend getting them because they look great. Bro, what happened to your mask? Without wearing a mask we are conscious of, we have a special face for each friend. Dude, you're freaking me out.